A dawn of diplomacy, the unthinkable accord. The world watched in stunned silence, then cautious optimism. On this day, May 25, 2025, news agencies flashed headlines that many believed they would never see. The People's Republic of China officially accepted a landmark proposal from Taiwan. This development signals a potential end to over 70 years of deeply entrenched conflict. It hints at an era of peace, stability, and cooperation across the Taiwan Strait. For decades, this standoff has been a dangerous flashpoint, threatening regional and even global security. Now, an unexpected door to dialogue has opened wide. This breakthrough is particularly astonishing given the recent climate. Just days ago, tensions were palpably high. The PRC had intensified its pressure campaign against Taiwan's leadership. President William Lai Ching-te faced sustained efforts from Beijing to delegitimize his administration around the first anniversary of his inauguration on May 20th. State media outlets were actively vilifying him, and military exercises, including amphibious landing drills in Fujian, continued to send menacing signals across the strait. The sudden shift from confrontation to conciliation has left diplomats and analysts scrambling for explanations. The world now waits, holding its breath, to see if this fragile dawn will indeed lead to a lasting day of peace. Choose of history: 70 years of division. To understand the magnitude of today's agreement, one must look back at the long and often bitter history between China and Taiwan. The roots of the conflict trace back to the Chinese Civil War, which raged in the first half of the 20th century. When the CCP, led by Mao Zedong, emerged victorious on the mainland in 1949, establishing the People's Republic of China, the KMT government under Chiang Kai-shek retreated to the island of Taiwan. This retreat established two rival Chinese states. From that point forward, the PRC has viewed Taiwan as a renegade province. Beijing has consistently maintained that Taiwan is an inalienable part of China, and must eventually be reunified with the mainland. Conversely, Taiwan, officially known as the Republic of China, developed its own distinct political system. It transitioned from an authoritarian regime under the KMT to a vibrant multi-party democracy, fiercely protective of its autonomy and way of life. The Taiwan Strait, the narrow body of water separating the island from the mainland, became one of the world's most dangerous geopolitical flashpoints. The olive branch extended Taiwan's bold blueprint for peace. The landmark proposal from Taiwan, now accepted by Beijing, is reportedly a comprehensive document. It was meticulously developed by Taiwanese diplomats and strategists. Their goal was to create a framework built on mutual respect, shared prosperity, and crucially, peaceful coexistence. The proposal acknowledges the deep historical and cultural connections, while also safeguarding Taiwan's democratic values and de facto autonomy. Key initiatives within the proposal focus on several critical areas. Firstly, it calls for a significant deepening of economic ties. This could include new free trade initiatives and joint infrastructure investments, aiming to create greater interdependence and shared economic benefits. Secondly, the plan emphasizes expanding cultural and educational exchanges. Furthermore, the proposal addresses the sensitive issue of security. It outlines the establishment of robust security assurances designed to reduce the risk of conflict. Beijing's surprising shift, unpacking the motivations. China's acceptance of Taiwan's proposal has taken the international community by surprise. This decision signals a possible significant strategic recalibration by Beijing. For years, the PRC's stance on Taiwan has been characterized by unwavering resolve for unification, backed by increasing military intimidation. Several factors, both internal and external, may have contributed to this unexpected willingness to engage with Taiwan's diplomatic overture. Internally, China has been grappling with a range of pressing challenges. Economic headwinds, including a slowing growth rate and issues in the property sector, have created domestic unease. Externally, Beijing has faced increasing diplomatic isolation and suspicion. Its assertive foreign policy and aggressive posture in the South China Sea, along with its stance on Taiwan, have strained relationships with many Western nations and key regional powers. A world-astonished global reactions to the breakthrough. The announcement of China's acceptance of Taiwan's peace proposal sent shockwaves across the globe. Initial reactions have been a mixture of astonishment, cautious optimism, and, in some quarters, outright jubilation. For decades, the Taiwan Strait has been viewed as one of the most perilous fault lines in international politics. The prospect of a peaceful resolution, however tentative, has been warmly welcomed by many. Crowds reportedly took to the streets in Taipei, celebrating the news with a sense of relief and hope for a future free from the constant threat of conflict. Major world capitals are now carefully formulating their responses. Washington, which has long played a critical role in maintaining stability in the region through its Taiwan Relations Act and policy of strategic ambiguity, is likely conducting intensive internal discussions. The United States will need to assess how this development affects its long-term strategy in the Indo-Pacific. Similarly, Tokyo, a key U.S. ally with significant security interests in Taiwan's stability, will be closely monitoring the situation. Navigating the new geopolitical landscape potential impacts. This landmark agreement between China and Taiwan, if successfully implemented, has the potential to dramatically reshape the geopolitical landscape of the Indo-Pacific and beyond. The most immediate and significant impact would be a reduction in military tension in the Taiwan Strait. This region has long been a powder keg, with any miscalculation capable of sparking a wider conflict. A de-escalation would allow both Beijing and Taipei to redirect resources away from military preparedness towards other pressing domestic needs. It could also lead to a drawdown of military deployments and exercises that have kept the region on high alert. The agreement will inevitably force a strategic recalculation among major global powers, particularly the United States. U.S. policy towards Taiwan has been a cornerstone of its Asia strategy for decades. If China and Taiwan are genuinely moving towards peaceful coexistence, the rationale behind certain U.S. military postures and arms sales to Taiwan might evolve. This could lead to a recalibration of U.S.-China relations, potentially opening avenues for cooperation on other global issues. Whispers of doubt, skepticism, and lingering risks. Despite the wave of optimism following the announcement, a healthy dose of skepticism and an awareness of lingering risks are warranted. The core objective of the People's Republic of China regarding Taiwan eventual unification has been a consistent tenet of its national policy for over 7 decades. It is unlikely that this fundamental goal has been entirely abandoned overnight. Therefore, many analysts and longtime observers of cross-strait relations caution that Beijing's acceptance of Taiwan's proposal might be a tactical maneuver rather than a truly transformational shift in its strategic ambitions. The history of cross-strait relations is replete with periods of thaw followed by renewed tension. Agreements made in good faith can be undermined by changing political circumstances or leadership on either side. The deep-seated mistrust, built up over generations of political and ideological division, will not dissipate easily. There will be elements within both China and Taiwan who view this agreement with suspicion or outright hostility. The path forward. Challenges in implementation. The journey from a landmark agreement on paper to a lasting peace in reality is fraught with challenges. The initial euphoria surrounding China's acceptance of Taiwan's proposal must now give way to the hard work of implementation. Building trust is paramount. After more than 70 years of animosity and mutual suspicion, establishing genuine confidence between Beijing and Taipei will be a slow and arduous process. One of the immediate challenges will be establishing robust verification and dispute resolution mechanisms. The terms of the agreement, particularly those related to security assurances and economic cooperation, will require clear benchmarks and transparent monitoring. Domestic political dynamics within both China and Taiwan will also present significant hurdles. In Taiwan, a vibrant democracy, President Lai Ching-te's administration will need to build and maintain broad public support for the agreement. Similarly, in China, President Xi Jinping will need to manage expectations and potential dissent from nationalist factions within the Communist Party. A glimmer of hope, the promise of a peaceful coexistence. Despite the undeniable complexities and inherent risks, the historic agreement between China and Taiwan offers a profound glimmer of hope. It stands as a testament to the power of diplomacy and the courage of leaders willing to choose dialogue over confrontation. For generations, the people of Taiwan have lived with the specter of conflict, while the people of mainland China have been taught that reunification is an inevitable national destiny. This breakthrough suggests that a different future, one based on peaceful coexistence and mutual respect, might be possible. The potential benefits of a lasting peace are immense. Beyond the obvious security advantages, a stable cross-strait relationship can unlock new avenues for economic prosperity, cultural exchange, and collaborative solutions to shared challenges like climate change and public health. The international community has a responsibility to support this nascent peace process. This means offering encouragement, facilitating dialogue where appropriate, and exercising strategic patience. Ultimately, the success of this accord will depend on the sustained commitment, political will, and strategic foresight of leaders in both Beijing and Taipei. As we look ahead, the future prospects of the China-Taiwan Accord hinge on several critical factors. First and foremost is the sustained commitment from both sides to honor the principles of the agreement. This means ongoing dialogue, transparent communication, and a mutual willingness to address emerging challenges constructively. Gap 2S. Secondly, the role of international stakeholders cannot be understated. Countries around the globe, especially major powers and regional actors, must navigate their policies to foster a supportive environment for this fragile peace. By doing so, they can help prevent external pressures from derailing the process. Gap 2S. The economic landscape is another vital aspect. The potential for increased trade, investment, and joint ventures can solidify the peace process by creating interdependencies that make conflict less desirable. Both China and Taiwan stand to gain significantly from a stable and prosperous relationship. Gap 2S. Cultural and educational exchanges will also play a pivotal role. Building people-to-people connections can help bridge historical divides and foster a sense of shared destiny. Programs that encourage mutual understanding and respect are essential for long-term reconciliation. Gap 2S. Finally, the adaptability and resilience of both societies will be tested. The road to peace is seldom smooth, and setbacks are inevitable. However, the ability to navigate these challenges with patience and a focus on the larger goal of peaceful coexistence will determine the ultimate success of this groundbreaking accord. Gap 2S. In conclusion, while the path forward is fraught with uncertainties, the promise of a peaceful and prosperous future for China and Taiwan is within reach. With continued dedication and a collective vision, this historic agreement can indeed herald a new era of stability and cooperation in the region. As we reach the end of our journey through the intricate and deeply significant China-Taiwan Accord, it's time to reflect on the monumental implications of this historic agreement. Gap 2S. This accord marks not just a political milestone, but a profound shift in the way two long-standing adversaries perceive each other. It is a testament to the power of diplomacy and the human spirit's capacity for reconciliation. Gap 2S. The challenges that lie ahead are formidable, yet the potential rewards are equally great. A peaceful coexistence between China and Taiwan can set a precedent for conflict resolution worldwide, offering a blueprint for other regions embroiled in disputes. Gap 2S. It serves as a reminder that even in our most divided moments, there is always a path to understanding and unity. Gap 2S. As we look to the future, let us hold on to the hope that this accord represents. A hope that through dialogue, empathy, and unwavering commitment, we can build a world where peace prevails over conflict. Gap 2S. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of one of the most significant diplomatic efforts of our time. Until next time, stay informed, stay hopeful, and believe in the possibility of a better tomorrow.